when they say marriage is not an achievement, I really mean it. When they tell you that marriage is not an achievement, what does that really mean? That is what I'm going to explain in this short video. It will not be too long because it is specific on this statement. Marriage is not an achievement. It is a statement. It is a theory. It is a narrative. It is a concept. Then it is also a mindset, a product of the mindset. Excuse me. Is it truly constructive or damaging? Can we get progress from there? Can it really go down well with us that marriage is not an achievement? First of all, is it true or is it a lie? You are welcome to Evangelist Inyima Kalu TV, Treasury of Excellent Knowledge. I am your serviceable servant, Evangelist Inyima Kalu. As you know, I am an evangelical author. I am a custodian of Christianity, and I am a human capital developer. So all of these things put together form my content in the videos that I make. All these are lectures, no matter how short, no matter how long it may be, depending on what I want to explain. Now, I want to just explain the issue of the statement, marriage is not an achievement. I know certainly it is a lie. It is not true. At least I've made two other videos previously to hint on this. But I want to go specific on this statement. Marriage is not an achievement. I know that it is a lie. It is not true. It is not about me. If it is just about me, whether they say it or they do not say it, I know that it is a lie, because I know what makes it lie. But the problem is that the majority of human beings do not know whether it is a lie, whether it is true. Even if you tell them it is a lie, can you really tell them what makes it a lie? If you tell them it's a true, can you defend it? That is the reason I have come to make this video, because I cannot defend that statement. I am not part of those who believe in marriage is not an achievement. I am sure that marriage is a great achievement, God's own achievement. Rather, it is not an achievement to those who do not understand marriage. I want to read. I'm reading from English Standard Version, ESV, of the Bible. Hebrew chapter 13, verse 4. Say, let marriage be held in honor among all, and let the bed be undefiled. For God will judge the sexually immoral and adulterous. Let marriage be held in honor. The watchword. Marriage is a responsibility. Then, marriage is orchestrated for enjoyment. The responsibility, the first responsibility here is let marriage be held in honor. The reason these people tell you that marriage is not an achievement is because they don't know that marriage is honorable. If you read the same verse in King James Version, it will tell you marriage is honorable and the bed undefiled. He said, let marriage be held in honor. That is, there is a responsibility. This is a demand, it's a requirement, a mandate given to all. Let marriage. It is not just for one person or two people. It is not just limited to the married couple. It is extended to every human being. Even when you are not in marriage. For example, I am not in marriage. I have the responsibility to hold the marriage of others in honor, respect marriage. And the people in marriage should respect marriage as well. Outsiders should respect marriage. This is what God is saying through the Hebrews. Who are the Hebrews? The Hebrews are older than the Israelites. The Hebrews are older. This tested and trusted. Tested and trusted. I want to read somewhere in the Bible. Genesis chapter 14. Genesis chapter 14, verse 13. Genesis 14, verse 13. This is recording about Abraham as the Hebrew. And from King James, he said, Genesis chapter 13, verse 14. According to King James Version, he said, and there came one that had escaped and told Abraham the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol, and brother of Aner, and these were confederates with Abram. See? And there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew. At this time, his name had not been changed to Abraham. And one came and told him. And this is when Abraham led his army to rescue Saul and his family from invasion, which had taken them captive. Most of us know this story. After the call of Abraham, the Hebrew had been in existence. Abraham, by nationality, is a Hebrew. Hebrew had been an existing set of people. How did Hebrew come? We know that Abraham married another wife called Keturah. And the Keturah lived under Abraham. And, okay, even this is what I'm saying is after the Hebrew. The Hebrew are those who had known God before the call of Abraham. From the mass migration, I have made videos, about 2 or 3 videos, part 1, part 2. I can't remember whether it has part 3. Who are the Hebrews? They are available in my YouTube channel. They are available in my YouTube channel. These are videos I made 2 years ago. Who are the Hebrews? If you want to know who are the Hebrews. Hebrews are a variety of people around the African continent today, spread in different places. There are people who have known God to a certain extent, even before the call of Abraham, even before the establishment of the nation of Israel. If the nation of Israel came as descendants of Abraham, Abraham gave birth to Isaac. Isaac gave birth to Esau and Jacob. Then Jacob formed the nation of Edom and the other part of what is called today the part of the Middle East and the northern Europe, the Russia side of then the the Esau and the Edomites, while Jacob, his younger brother, whose name was changed to Israel. So the name Israel is somebody's name, is Jacob's name. It is formed by the descendants of Jacob. So Hebrew had been in existence before them. It is a set of people, and from this set of people, Abraham was born. Abraham is a child from the nation of the Hebrew. So that is why he is called Abraham the Hebrew. So these people had known God to a certain extent. Marriage had been in practice before the call of Abraham. And these people had confirmed. So when we are talking about the Bible, the Hebrew is an ancient record. Even though it has a position in the New Testament, it is a very old history of the human relationship with God. The book of Hebrew, it is the Hebrew, it is the testimony of the Hebrews that is written as the book of Hebrew in the Bible. So these people, after all and all, they come to confirm that marriage is truly honorable. Marriage should be respected. Marriage should be held in honor. So people should respect marriage. People should not be abusing marriage. The reason people say God, that marriage is not an achievement is, first of all, they are inexperienced. Secondarily, they are gullible. They don't know that marriage is an achievement. So they are gullible about marriage. They are ignorant about marriage. By character and by habit, they are wayward. They are wayward. Some of them want to be in marriage and still be a shower in the street and whatsoever. And when the platform does not permit them to live that way, they will turn to critics. They will open up their serpentine mouth and serpentine tongue and begin to condemn the sacredness, the honorability of marriage. They want to undermine the credibility of marriage, making it to appear as if marriage means nothing. If you watch closely, you will discover that most of these people who use the statement, marriage is not an achievement, most of them have boyfriend, or they have sugar daddy, or they have sugar mommy, or they have whatsoever. I'm not just talking about a particular line of genders. I'm talking both against the men, against the women, against the boys, against the girls. I'm talking against both of the two genders of human beings, which are the male and the females. So anybody who opens his mouth or her mouth to state that marriage is not an achievement, the person is announcing to the world, even though the world may not understand. That is the reason I've come to explain. Anybody who makes this statement is announcing to you that he is ignorant of marriage and he is not matured for marriage, that he is not a wife material. He is not a husband material. If it is a woman, she is not a wife material. And they are not disciplined. There is no disciplined person. There is nobody who has self-discipline that can make this statement, because those who are self-disciplined know the importance of marriage. Also, it is their strategy to keep on justifying their life of fornication. But from the Bible verse I have read, say God judges the fornicators, the adulterers, all of the sexual immorals. God judges them. They form it as a strategy for people to take away from their ridiculous lifestyle: fornication, adultery, incest, bestiality, homosexuality, masturbation, different kinds of sexual immorality that they practice. They want us to begin to see those things as normal. And it is because they are not able to be in marriage. Marriage will discipline them enough that they will not have time to begin to do all those nonsense. That is the reason they tell us that marriage is not an achievement. They want us, that is, they are creating narrative, they are creating perspective to the world. And many people are bowing to this perception, this view about marriage, this satanic view about marriage. Many are bowing and begin to see marriage that way when it is really not. God instituted marriage. Marriage is God's achievement, and God had made marriage honorable. Marriage is like crown. Marriage is a crown, and because God made marriage to be the only means for sex. Sex is sweet. Sex is very, very sweet. Even I have apologized to God because of the sex that I used to have when I was not yet born again, because that is not the proper way. The proper way is to get married. But since I got born again, and I don't have sex anymore, and because I will not have sex outside of marriage. So all of the people who are in marriage and they are going after other women, they are abusing the marriage. The marriage is not their problem. The problem is their own lust for sex. The women who are in marriage and they go after other men, the marriage is not the problem. The problem is their lust for sex. Then also, some people are disrespectful. They can't respect themselves. They can't respect others. Some women cannot respect their husband. Some men cannot respect their wives in marriage. And there are people who know certainly within themselves that they cannot be loyal to a man. rather than to tell you that they don't want to get married because they cannot be loyal in marriage, they will tell you marriage is not an achievement. There are men who know among them, within themselves, that they cannot stay with one woman. They cannot discipline themselves enough. Rather than to tell you that this is the reason they don't want to marry, or this is the reason they have shattered their own marriage and become divorcees or whatever, they will tell you marriage is not an achievement when it is not true. Then I read Hebrew chapter 13 verse 4 as the focal scripture. Then I want to read verse 5. Okay, now I want to read verse 5. Say, keep your life free from love of money and be content with what you have. For he has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Keep your life free from love of money. Be content with what you have. Lack of contentment, greediness. Greediness is one of the reasons many people cannot stay in marriage. Many people came into marriage with hustling mindsets, both men and women, with hustling mindsets. Maybe that woman is rich, that woman is well-doing, and the reason the man come into that marriage is to exploit the woman financially. And that becomes a problem. If you give him the money, he will continue to consume and exploit and exploit. If you don't give him the money, problem will come into that marriage. The same case is with most of the women. Most women come into marriage with hustling mindsets, what they will just get from that man. And to make the matter worse is that some people want to come into marriage to come and be taking money from their marriage to go and build their extended family, I mean the family, into where they are born. A woman coming into marriage, seeing his marriage as a means of a means of finance to go and build her siblings, build her mother, build her father, even if their parents are no more alive or whatsoever, to build her siblings. That is, it should be in the marriage. Whether she is the one making the money or she's not making the money, she's not planning about how to build her own children with her husband. She will be planning. While she is in marriage, you see people from elsewhere determining. Beside that, she is competing with her friends on the kind of cars to drive, on the kind of clothing, the kind of gold to wear, different kinds of things, irrelevant competitions. Some men are like that. Some men are like that. Some men are like that. That is the reason. Some men are like that. That is the reason, the secondary reason many people cannot stay in marriage. They are the problem. Marriage is not the problem, but the problem is them. It is because they are not fit for marriage. Some people cannot be faithful in marriage. Rather than to tell us they cannot be faithful, they are not matured for marriage, they will try to tell us that marriage is not an achievement. It is a lie. Now you know it clearly. Marriage is God's achievement. Marriage is an achievement to those who are matured for marriage, to those who know the importance of marriage, to those who know the purpose of marriage, to those who are visionary, and to those who are truly responsible. God orchestrated marriage as the means of building up families, training children in the proper way. And this is one of the reasons the Bible has said, train up a child in a way he should go, so that when he grows up, he will not deviate from that way. Shattered marriage, being of single mother, single father, have been a reason many children are not well trained. And God does not permit that people, or God does not orchestrate, but it is about the will of the people that they have children outside of marriage and train them any way they like. So truly, God has a purpose, God has a vision, and God's purpose and God's vision is what should be followed in times of marriage. It is not about those who say it. Those who say it, they are just mere human beings. they were just born either outside of marriage or through marriage, but they don't really understand the purpose. It is the orchestrator of marriage that we should be asking and looking unto. The Hebrew had tested and confirmed it, tested and trusted the honorability of marriage thousands of years, even before the call of Abraham. May God bless you. Marriage is truly truly an achievement, great achievement. It is honorable. It is my duty. It is your duty. It is the duty of all of us to hold marriage in high esteem, to hold marriage in high esteem, to respect marriage, and to help building marriage strongly, faithfully, godly, and for the purpose and we becoming people of responsibility. May God bless you. Until I come your way once again, I say to you, bye for now.